live with another episode of the Keeg Talks. Today, the Keeg Talks Predator Badlands, the newest installment in the Predator franchise from 20th Century Studios. I'm your host, Dimithri Pereira, and if you're watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or maybe you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, etc., etc. But no matter how you're digesting us, let us know you're out there. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review, join us in our chat if you're watching us live on YouTube, and be a part of the show, and enjoy. It's not just me talking about Predator Badlands that just came out literally yesterday to the general public. I also have two awesome guests that are here to talk about Predator Badlands and their experiences with the franchise. And it just so happens that we got to see it a little bit early in different ways, and had some time to, ruminate our thoughts. First, we got Nikhil, aka the real Nikhil Clayton, the one with the blue check mark now.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. I've seen Predator Badlands twice now. I saw it in 4DX most recently. That was a life-changing experience. And I'm happy to talk about it.
I can't imagine like the 4DX chairs just like throwing you around.
It was beautiful. It truly was I saw in the very front row. It was so immersive. You felt like you were just bobbing and weaving with him the whole time. I loved it.
Now I know it shakes, but does it do smells and stuff and like mist and things?
It does mist. So it moves. There's like, it'll hit you in the back, like with some like massage therapy kind of thing. If he takes a punch.
If he gets a massage.
Yeah, if he gets a massage. Guns are like a puff of air, and I found that annoying. That was my only one I didn't like. But then there's mist that comes in for the explosions. And the mist was scented, but I don't think it was on purpose. I think it's just like a vape mist, and it smelled like grape.
Okay.
And I was like, well, all right. I don't think this moment's supposed to smell like grape, but that's all right.
When the alien spits on deck,
yeah, they shoot you with water.
They spit on you. They get the usher to come in and go. It's very immersive. But that's cool. That's cool. It makes me kind of want to do 4DX. But
you should. This was the only movie I've ever seen in 4DX, but I think it worked very well for it.
Okay. All right. Well, our other guest, we got Marmar, aka Marmar Yisa, 2002, right?
2022.
Is it 2022? Yeah. I misspelled it. So 2022, not the other Marmar Yisa. Marmar, what's up? Thanks for coming on.
Hi. No, thank you. Thank you for having me back on. And yeah, me and Dimithri also saw this for the first time together. So
IMAX headquarters. It was cool. Big screen. It wasn't shaking us around or anything, but
yeah, I might have liked it that way. I'm not a big 4DX person. The last time I saw 4DX was, I think, Eternals, and during the scenes where Makari was like running really fast and stuff was giving me a little bit of a headache. But I'm glad that your 4D experience in Badlands was good.
I will say I did leave with a headache. I think that's part of it, but
comes with the territory.
That's like a different level of fan of the cinema. Right? Cinephile. It's the idea that, like, yes, immerse yourself completely. Maybe
my level of immersion is my level of immersion is like to a point.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what movie I would really want to see in 4DX, but I don't know. But we're not here to talk about any movie. We're here to talk about Predator Badlands. We're here to talk about our experiences with Predator, experiences with the Predator franchise, not experiences with Predators in general. By the way, did you guys see the SNL sketch they did recently with the Nashville Predators?
Oh yes, that's the baseball team or whatever.
Oh yes,
hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey, yeah.
It's like baseball, but on ice, I guess. But it just, whenever people bring up Predator, I think of that sketch now, because
I had no clue that existed, and I was like, that's such an unfortunate. I get it, again, Predator in terms of this franchise Predator, but then also it's double meaning, and you're like, oh, that's an unfortunate name.
Yeah,
it's also, I think of the double entendre every time there is a new Predator movie as well. Like even divorced from the skit, this is a little funny. It's called Predator, but
there is a movie called Badlands. I think it's an old, not old, it's like 70s or 80s, It has Sissy Spacek. But basically, the plot of that Badlands is a guy who's like older than 18 essentially takes this girl from her house and like. So that's technically the first Predator Badlands.
Oh.
It's a famous movie, but I forget who did it. Anyway, point being, we're here to talk about this one.
When you invited me to this, I thought at first that you said Borderlands, and I was so confused why we were going to talk about the Borderlands movie. But
you're like, that came out last year.
Yeah, we're just really late on everything, so that's okay. A shout out to ngals27 in our YouTube chat saying Predator's Badlands, let's go. Which could be hyping up Predator Badlands, but also like get to the point. Let's talk about Predator Badlands. Before this movie came out, this is the third installment, at least, not in the Predator franchise, but director Dan Trachtenberg and his movies / installments. We had Prey, which came out straight to Hulu. One would argue that it should come out in movie theaters. I would argue that. Then there was Killer of Killers, which is like an animated miniseries. Did you guys watch those two?
I did. They're very good.
Did you guys watch Prey when it came, like right when it came out? Did it need convincing?
I watched it the day before I went to go see Badlands for the first time because I thought it might be relevant. I did not see it when it came out.
Oh.
I saw it when it came out, I think, because there was a lot of people in like TikTok were like speaking highly of it, and I was like, okay, yeah, like why not? And then that was probably my first introduction to Predator. So
yeah. I mean, I watched Prey when it came out. I've always been, because I don't like horror, so I'm not a big horror person. So when it comes to like Predator movies, I've seen some and I haven't seen others. Just, I have to hear, like, kind of like a Jordan Peele movie. I have to hear that the horror movie is good enough for me to actually, like, go see it. Because if it's not, then why would I bother myself with a horror movie that I don't want to see? So, I mean, I've seen Predator 2. I've seen Alien vs. Predator.
You've not seen Predator 1?
I have not seen Predator 1. Weirdly enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
You started with Predator 2?
Because it was on TV when I was a kid. It was on TV when I was a kid. It wasn't
That's
my
interesting.
choice.
That's an interesting start.
It wasn't my choice. It was just on TV when I was a kid. It was like TNT or something,
Yeah.
But then I heard good things about Prey, and I was like, okay, I need to see it. And I watched it. I loved it. And then when Killer of Killers came out, people shared some of the scenes on TikTok, and I was like, I gotta. So I jumped on that too.
Yeah, I've seen the Trachtenberg trilogy and then the original, and nothing in between. But
that's fair, because there's a Predators.
Yeah. There's like a plural one, and then there's and they added a the in there, and I'm like, okay, so what's the difference between the Predator and then Predators?
So,
I think The Predator is a reboot, and it has like Keegan-Michael Key in it, and then Predators is a sequel.
Okay. I don't know whether it's a straight reboot, but that does take place in the past or present day, which is the past. No, I don't know. But yeah, Predators is the one with Adrian Brody, I think. Is Adrian Brody in it? Topher Grace is in it. Basically, the plot of that movie is they've taken like just scummy people all over the world, like killers and warlords and that sort of thing, and they pluck them and then they drop them on an alien planet. And I think part of the movie is like, we don't know who they are. And this one guy's like, I haven't done anything wrong. Why am I here? And so, yeah.
That's very similar to what it seems like we're building to in Trachtenberg's. That seems like what his end goal is, the Predator Avengers that he's building.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, let's get to it. Prey takes place in the past. Killer of Killers takes place
in the past. 3 different pasts, but yeah.
Four different pasts. It was Viking, World War II.
Viking, Samurai, and World War II.
Yeah.
And then I guess actually the one on the Predator planet might be present day. I don't know when they all get unfrozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the part that Dimithri had to like clarify for me because I first when I watched Killer of Killers actually last night, I was like, are they dead? Are they just like you know like taxidermy? Like they just like kind of like placing him.
Like the frozen tubes, the cryo
yeah.
tubes. Yeah.
And then I realized I'm like, oh, they're not dead. They're just frozen. I'm like, oh, that changes a lot of things for me now. And then going back to the time period. So that makes sense with the time periods and the frozen and all that. So
from what you guys know about the franchise, and maybe Ngals27 in our chat, who says I'm not going to judge. I started with Predators. Maybe Ngals knows the answer to this. Is Killer of Killers the first time that we see that they are taking people from different time periods, not by time travel, but by like they just if you beat a predator, you then get frozen and then just thawed out in the future?
I think that's a new concept. Yeah.
okay.
Because the original idea of Predator is always like pressure none the people won. And I think Prey is the first time they're like, oh, but even if you win, you lose. Because it's not like anyone was ever like Arnie's secretly being frozen on Predator land. Like,
yeah. Which is funny, actually. What you just said is the tagline to Alien versus Predator: whoever wins, we all lose, or something like that.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I would assume.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's a new concept, which also then at the end of Killer of Killers retcons a couple of things. I forget her name in Prey, but she beats the Predator.
Yeah.
What is it?
Naru.
She gets it shows that she's frozen on the at the end of Killer of Killers, and then it also shows that like a couple other people are frozen, and then supposedly in an extended scene, Arnold's character is frozen.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've not seen that personally, but I have heard that in the full version there's Arnold.
Yeah. So the idea is no matter what, you lose against a predator, you die. You win against a predator, you go up one level, which is getting frozen and thawed out in the future, which, as far as I know, no hope of coming back.
Yeah.
So
well, I think that you said you saw Killer Killers last night.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if we want to take this more like procedurally through the movie, but I have a theory about how this movie ended that requires more up-to-date memory of Killer of Killers.
How Predator Badlands ended?
Yeah, like the very, very end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I personally for me, I'm glad that I watched it in the order that I did the Trachtenberg movies, which was Prey, Badlands, and then Killer of Killers, because in Badlands, that was my first introduction to even the concept of the Yautja. Like this is like a ritual for them, like kind of to like a coming of age, where it's like, okay, now you got to go find your prey in order to be accepted and as one of us. And then from there, now kind of seeing with that concept, going to Killer of Killers and being, oh yeah, now it makes sense why all the Yautja are like kind of choosing their like those like places in that specific moment in time. And then like the prey kind of going up against the predator and then ultimately defeating them. So I do like the order that I watched it in, personally for me.
Yeah,
I think it works for that. Because seeing Killer Killers before this, I was thinking to myself, is there going to be some sort of kind of tie-in? Are we setting things up? But it seems like these three movies are, instead of being sequential, they're kind of parallel. And they're leading us towards
they're all going towards one thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Which it confuses me because the Arnie tease would suggest that whatever they're building to will also be animated. And I feel like that's strange for a major studio to have the live action movies funnel into the animated one. But it'd be interesting to see.
There's also kind of a weird contractual thing here because Predator and Alien were both Fox properties, and that was back when it was 20th Century Fox. And then when Disney bought Fox, they kept the studio, got rid of the Fox name, so now it's 20th Century Studios. And all those franchises that are under there, like Planet of the Apes, Alien, Predator, those type of things, are still getting made under that sort of label. And then if they do comics on it, because they have done Planet of the Apes, Alien comics, Predator comics, they have a 20th Century Studios imprint of Marvel Comics.
Yeah, they are really pushing Predator in the comics right now. Predator is like doing everything in Marvel right now.
I mean, and Alien, but because they just released Alien versus Captain America #1.
Yeah. They love to make these people fight random people.
Yeah. I love that.
Favorite thing.
Yeah. For anyone out there, go to comicshoplocator.com. Find any of those comics there. So yeah, they did flesh out kind of the Yautja society in a way, just as far as like this clan is concerned. I'm still trying to put the pieces together on how everything fits, because in Predator Badlands, they bring up Wolf, who is a predator in a previous movie. But I think it's just
they just brought up the concept of a wolf.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is. I don't think it's an actual cameo per se. Like, it's not linking that as much as it is just a callback.
Wait, so there's a predator named Wolf?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a wolf, like on Earth there is a wolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's two different things, but I think it is an homage, an allusion, not to that they're the same characters, but that
just a reference.
Just a predator named Wolf.
Okay.
You know?
Well, now I'm more curious about how a predator gets the name Wolf.
Maybe he killed a wolf, and that was his prey.
True.
So every time he kills someone,
actually, I don't know any other predators' names other than Deck. Do you think they all come from whatever they killed? Because that'd be fun.
That'd be pretty sick.
Like, what did they
all have names.
What did Deck kill?
Well, he broke it, you know, but he would have been the Kiabasa or whatever the creature's name
was. The Weyland-Yutani the synthetic, was it Tessa? That was his, Oh
my god, he could be Tessa now. That would actually be hilarious.
His name's Tessa.
The last thing you kill. But then he like accidentally stomps on like a cockroach and he's like, oh, now I gotta go back.
Damn.
I gotta work my way up again, you know? Ngals27 says Wolf is the predator in AVP Requiem? ?
Oh.
So I think that, I knew
they made a second AVP?
Yeah. One was PG-13 and the other one was R.
But it's the same movie, or is it just a sequel?
Sequel.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's fun.
Okay, Vic Weave. By the way, we got a couple of people in our chat right now. Shout out to Aries13, Ngals27, Vic Weave. Vic Weave says Wolf is from Requiem, yes.
Okay.
So it just seems like it's an allusion to, because Requiem takes place in modern day. This takes place in the future, as we could see from Weyland-Yutani and all that sort of stuff. So I mean, let's start at the well, before we start, what would you rate this out of 10? Quick reason why, and then we can get into our nitty gritty of everything. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you guys would have given it, unless I'm following you on Letterboxd, and then I do.
I don't think I logged it on Letterboxd either time, because I'm very bad at remembering to do that. But I'd give it like probably an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I really liked it a lot. I will say the second time I watched it, I think I was more like, oh, this is just kind of a normal action movie. But the first time, I didn't know what was coming, and so it was very, very fun, very surprising. And the world building and the creature building is my favorite thing. And the story shifted the moment I wanted it to. I literally thought to myself, like, wouldn't this be more fun if it was about this other thing? And then it switched to being about that. And I was like, oh, there we go. Perfect.
Next wish for $1 million. See what happens. Okay, so you said you'd give it a 8 or 9. Okay.
Yeah. All
right. Marmar?
I would agree with that too, 8 or 9. I really like the story of this. I really like how Dan kind of puts a lot of like compelling, like kind of humanity to the story of these aliens. And I just like knowing that the Yautja can be vulnerable. I think because up until this point, you just think like these predators are just always like strong and like no weaknesses and all that. And they kind of just dismantle that notion. And it's like, well, they're just like us too. They have emotions, they have vulnerability, like they have weaknesses as well too, but it doesn't make them any less predatory, I guess, and like, you know, like any less strong. There's strength in other things as well too. So I like that message, and kind of evolving into not being able to be in that binary of like predator or prey. And there's kind of like a third option that I think they kind of explore too, which is like being able to protect the people that you care about. And there is like, again, like a strength in that and power in that. So that's why I think I liked Badlands a lot more than I was anticipating.
Just adding on about what you said, I feel like no, I lost my train of thought. Just a thought about this. I thought that like the predators in this are kind of very similar to Klingons in a way. In the sense of like, if in Star Trek, like the Klingons are first introduced as like they're just like nasty barbarian bad guys with, they do have a culture, they do have what they want, but at the same time, like, they're just built different. It's part of their nature, you know? And then over time, as Star Trek goes on into multiple series, you get to know like Worf, who's a Klingon who was raised by humans, and like there's all these things of like nature versus nurture, and what is do all the Klingons agree on all the bad decisions that the Klingon empire does? No. So technically you could skin swap this movie and just make it a Klingon instead of a Predator, and like it works as a Star Trek movie, like pretty straightforwardly. I would give this also like an 8 or a 9. When I got home, I gave it 4.5 stars, which is a 9. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, should I go back and change it to a 4 instead of 4.5? And then I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with it. It wasn't as deep as I wanted it to be, but that was that's
my main thing is like, I feel like compared to Prey or even Killer of Killers, like there's not as much depth to the story. It's still a very good story, and it's nice to see, like, it's a coming of age movie for the Predator, which is fun. It's just not the same as like to the level of something like Prey that I think had a lot to say.
Yeah. I think they chose a direction and they went with it, and like kudos to them. I feel like I was trying to grasp at like, what are the themes, what are the points, what are the morals, what are we learning here, kind of thing. And then I was like, if they were trying to have a point, I feel like maybe that's their only ding, is like they didn't go far enough. Like, is it that toxic masculinity hurts us all? The patriarchy ruins,
friendship
everybody.
Is magic.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic.
Found family. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it that like emotions aren't a hindrance? They can help us. So why stuff down those emotions? Like, yeah, okay. Or
I think like to talk genuinely, I think it's what the other robot says. What's the main Thea? The main robot.
Thea.
The good one is Thea.
It's what she says when she's like, of course I can survive by myself, but who would want to survive by themselves?
Yeah.
I think that's like the thesis of the film. That's an
I
interesting
like that.
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie starts out with us on the Yautja planet. We see a fight between Deck and his brother. I forget his name. And I'm gonna have to look it up, but that's fine. And they're fighting and they're training, and then we get this whole moment with the idea that he's a runt, that his father is like, just kill him, and there's that
was crazy.
It was.
I was like, oh, are they actually? Oh, like that's your kid. Oh, okay, cool. We're going there. So
yeah, right before like he would ship off, hopefully to like go defeat some monster.
Well, technically, it wasn't supposed to get that far. He was supposed to kill him in sleep earlier. So that's just the lack of management. I think he even got to that level.
Who would have thought his brother wouldn't want to kill him?
I feel like most Predators. I feel like because Deck learns his lesson through all of this, but his brother just seems to already know that like there's more important things than strength. I feel like the idea is that most of the Predators would have easily killed the runt early on.
Yeah. Is it because of his parents' divorce? Are they just children of divorced parents? Because like
I know when it's like, oh, this is my mom, and I'm like, oh, there's a mom in the picture.
Father and mother. It's like, so they're divorced, and the dad has custody of the 2 Predator kids, and like, is that what sets this off?
It was giving like it was. Now that you think about it, it's like in Killer of Killers, where the 2 samurai brothers, and then they also had to kind of fight to the death. So that could be that case too, where it's like that's one of my wives is your mom. So maybe that's that situation where there's just a lot of wives that they have.
Do they have a lot of wives? Do we know?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't think we know anything about them.
Given the culture, like I wouldn't be surprised, right? If there are like leaders and then there's just consorts and.
But not if it isn't a patriarchal society. Like his mom seems to have a clan of her own.
Yeah.
And that'd so be cool. In that case, like we aren't dealing with maybe they're monogamous. Maybe they're like they're at the altar, death till death do us part. And like,
I do think the implication is supposed to be the mom's gonna be mad he killed the dad. I think you are supposed to think they have affection for one another because that's like the threat. If she also hated the dad, then what's the problem?
I was thinking maybe it sparks a civil war because clans go up against clans. And now that the father is dead, she can move in on the territory.
Well, that could be anyone. There's no need for that to be the mom.
But this is mother.
Specifically.
There's, she's just
we'll talk about this. I want to ask, at the end of Killer of Killers, when they steal the plane, is it not a woman that they kill? Like, isn't it a female predator that they kill to do that? Because I remember leaving being surprised there was a female predator. And if it is, I have to rewatch the movie. But if it is, then my bet is
I was not
mom at all.
I didn't pay attention. I just defaulted to like these are all men because default men would be doing these things like that. But if it is a woman, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, in Killer Killers too, even the Viking, I initially thought that was a man. And then it was like, oh, that's a mom, work. So it's like, go you, girl.
I think there was like something about, I've seen this a long ago now, but I feel like there was something between the Viking and there was an idea of there was another mother involved.
Ooh.
And I think when I left Badlands thinking this way, which could have been pure delusion, I thought the twist was that that wasn't the mother. Like, he thinks it's his mother and it's the ship that they stole in Killer of Killers. But I don't know. It fully relies on if that was a woman. And I don't remember if it
was. Looks like Vic Weave in our chat seems to be a Predator super fan. I have to complete the sentence. Seems to be a Predator super fan. Vic Weave says in the novels the Yacha are fully matriarchal. Males only leading when off the homeworld. So on the homeworld, women lead.
That makes sense. It's like a lion thing. They go out and hunt, and then that makes sense.
In the reverse.
Oh, that's true. The women go out and hunt, don't they? Okay, so it's flipped it.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Also, who's to say that this new continuity like uses novel stuff? I don't know. Because there was a lot of stuff in like Alien, Predator, old like Dark Horse comics, old novels that don't necessarily apply anymore. So who's to say? But I mean, that is a good bit of information. After what's the big monster called that he's going for?
Kalisk?
Yes, I think that is right.
So Deck leaves after his brother dies. He fires off, but he doesn't strap in, and you gotta wear a seatbelt. That's like a big thing.
Safety's first, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, fair. And he gets to that world and he crashes. How'd you guys feel about all the animals on that world? Because I love the design.
I loved them. I love them so much.
Yeah.
Also, the Callus baby reveal cracked me up because I did not see it coming at all. But also, like, on rewatch, they fully say this is where the Callus eats, and then they show an animal. And in my brain at the time was just like, that's got to be unrelated. That's crazy.
Yeah. I probably skimmed over that too, or I just didn't hear it, and I'm just like, cool, they're in another location. So yeah, I didn't put two and two together. So
I was in awe of all the different animals. I don't assume that any animal they reference
is related to the other.
Yeah, because they just pop in and out. But at the same time, I think what got me, where I picked up on it, was when the Callus sniffs him and backs up.
Yeah, you were like, oh, and then I was like, what? And then you were like, oh, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't want to talk, but I want to say that I figured it out, but that's what clued me in. And I was like, okay, when are we getting this this drop? Before that reveal, I thought that I don't even know what that baby is named.
Bud. I thought it was butt, like B-U-T.
Isn't it? Bud?
But it's B-U-D. It's
Bud. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was Bug, which I thought was hilarious. They would call it clear monkey.
Bug could have worked too. But yeah, it is B-U-D.
Why is it? Why did she name it? Because it was Thea, right? The name.
Yeah, she just said I'm gonna call him Bud, and then.
Yeah.
Is that a foreshadowing? Because a bud is before I don't
know if that's foreshadowing. It might be the reason in the script. Like that might be what Dan Trachtenberg wanted someone to leave with thinking, but I don't
bud.
know. It's like,
but like
Yeah.
it's bud, but it's
meant
also
is
like a
foreshadowing.
bud of a flower before it
No,
blooms.
I get what you're saying. It's very smart. I feel like
Nikhil, maybe you don't know anything about flowers, but okay, so I actually expected Bud to die. I thought it was gonna be one of those like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a cute animal, and suddenly, because in the beginning of the like getting to the planet, isn't there a whole thing with like a little animal, another animal,
Yeah.
another animal? Oh, that's the Yautja.
I saw
planet,
that.
I think.
No, that was the Yautja planet.
That was the Yautja planet. But I was like,
Mhm.
okay, something's gonna eat Bud, and it's gonna be sad, but like whatever.
no, but he had the iron skin that you couldn't break.
Only if he closes, but if he's open, you can grab.
Do you
him.
think he heals too, and we just never saw it? Like if they cut off his head, would he also just come back?
Maybe. I
Or-
mean, if he's the Callus
he's the
kid, then he
Callus,
definitely
yeah.
has that regeneration ability. So.
Yeah.
So does that mean the Bud is the next Callus, and then now they just have a Callus in their crew? And
I think
that's
that
just-
is what it means. Yeah.
Yeah, so
we're
they're just
halfway
half.
It's going to
there.
be like Predator Avengers is really what the vibe of this whole universe is to me. Like he's really slow building. I don't know what the culmination is going to be, but somehow all of these people
Yeah.
keep getting in the same vicinity at the end, and
This
eventually
is
we're
their
gonna
secret
see it.
wars. It's like Killer of Killers, and it's just gonna be in another arena, and they're all
Yeah.
just gonna be plopped, defrost, and plopped into an arena.
I was thinking
I would love-
it's more of like Guardians of the Galaxy, or like for X-Men fans, Starjammers. Like,
Yeah.
Because they're all different species, and so like, what's the next thing? They're gonna pick up a xenomorph that is actually smart,
Oh yeah,
a super smart xenomorph that wears
the eyeball. I want
glasses.
the eyeball
Um,
octopus from Alien Earth somehow fighting the Bud.
Yeah, I haven't watched Alien Earth.
Oh,
Is it good?
I liked it. I think it started off really strong, and I think the ending kind of felt rushed, in my opinion. But I wonder if it's just or it doesn't feel completed. But I'm assuming they're going to make more, or at least have another season, which would make more sense. But I do like the creatures, like the type of xenomorphs that they introduced. Specifically
say-
the alien eyeball octopus thing.
I went to like a screening or thing that they did for the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth, and it was very funny. The director came out and was like, "We're going to introduce more creatures," and I was like, "I've never considered there would be more than the xenomorph,
Yeah.
like in this world at all." So that's crazy. Different aliens in the Alien franchise.
Whoa.
Because even in the Aliens movie, the second one, it just means multiple of xenomorphs.
Yeah, it's a lot of xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Xenomorph is the alien in the Alien movies, I thought, but then Alien Earth changed the whole game. And
Yeah.
I gotta give him props.
I have no idea how the Alien Earth changes the lore of everything.
I read somewhere that it wasn't part of the main canon. Like it's just the spin-off where they kind of just it's part of the existing world. And I'm like, okay, not everything has to be part of the main canon story.
Yeah.
MCU looking at you, but so if it just exists in its own little part of the universe, I'm fine with that.
Engals and Vic Weave. First thing, looks like Engals is a lion expert.
Okay,
Talking
good.
about the matriarchy and hierarchy of lion prides. For anyone out there, check out YouTube. The monster is the Callus. Yeah. Vic Weave says maybe they'll drop an Empress alien. In what? Alien
Ooh.
Earth or in another Predator movie?
Maybe in Predator, whatever this Predator Avengers is. They have to go do
Yeah,
something.
there you go.
It's gonna be the girl from Prey, animated Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jack and his crew, and like one or two of the people from Killer of Killers, and they're gonna have to go fight something.
Yeah.
Who knows what my hope is that it's a Predator movie, basically, with all the humans, and then Deck is the Predator. Because I think it'd be fun to actually root for both sides. I
Yeah.
think that would be cute. But
I would watch that.
I have no idea where they're going with this. But it kind of is cool that like whatever they're doing with Predator and Alien, it seems like they have multiple stories going on at once, and they don't all have to tie in together. They're just like out there doing their own thing. You know,
it seems also like now that it's Disney, honestly, they have a lot more creative liberty. Like I feel like both of these franchises have kind of been resurrected recently. I never would have thought that Predator would be A, this good, or B, this like commonplace in pop culture still at this point. But Trachtenberg really loves it for some reason. Of all franchises to want to be the champion of.
Yeah.
It's
a Predator movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Engal says the Yautja in Killer of Killers, Grendel King, is male.
Oh, well, that would, yeah. If he's the Grendel King, that would be a man.
That's the xenomorph one, but you're talking about someone else, right?
I'm talking about whoever they steal the ship from. I thought there was an
it wasn't the top one, right? Yeah, like the one who's like fight, and then you're fighting me. Yeah,
it's probably the Grendel Keg. I'm probably just wrong. The issue. I saw this like Badlands the first time before it had even like premiered or anything at a press screening, and I was like, I can't go on BuzzFeed and see if I'm right about this. And it's like 10 things you missed in Predator Badlands. So I just was sitting on it, waiting to find out if I'm right.
How early did you get to see it?
The first time I watched, I feel like was 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
maybe something like that. It was the week, like one of the weekdays before the premiere that weekend, and then
that's pretty cool.
It was nice.
But that is the sucky part. You can't go online and be like, what did I miss? It's like, oh, I'm the person people should be asking. Oh, okay. So, yeah, where do we go from here? So the deck picks up Thea. Thea is stuck in that nest. By the way, I not only do I love the animal designs, I love the idea that they put thought into how the animals interact with each other. Because that vulture is what they call it. The vulture like waits for prey to come into that like needle pod area, then activates it.
Yeah,
the rock.
And
it's a very Earth like kind of thing that would happen.
Like a raven.
I would not be surprised to hear that there's like a bird that found out it could kill mice by dropping a rock into a certain grass thing or something, you know?
Yeah. Sounds like a very raven thing to do. That's so Raven.
I was waiting for it. I felt like there was a build up to something. I didn't know what, but I knew there was going to be.
That was good.
But like everything Deck does, like Deck is cool because I think he's the underdog.
Yeah.
In all of this, did you guys like or hate the idea that like this was a movie all about this just small predator?
I liked it. It felt similar to Prey, where you see Naru's also journey of like, you know, being able to try to figure out what kind of warrior she is and how resourceful she can be and what her skill set is. Similar like with Deck and him having this preconceived notion of what the Yautja are supposed to be, and then kind of being like thrown into this Badlands and like kind of just starting from ground zero and kind of trying to figure out the land and how to be successful in this new environment. So it was cool to see Deck kind of like all of his preconceived notions being just completely like stripped, and then kind of starting and then learning new things from the environment as well as like Thea. So
yeah, I loved it. The most important thing to me in like a Predator movie, and I do think, again, I've only seen the original and then the what Trachtenberg makes, and I think it's a big theme in his, is the Predators are like bad hunters. They're like the universal version of big game hunters. Like they cheat because they have all their tech. Yeah. And then they're not like actually good at fighting. And even like in this movie, the dad is like, oh, he's so weak and pathetic, kill him, and then traps him in like a cage so that it'd be easy to kill him. Like they're not very honorable fighters. And I liked that in this one, Deck immediately loses all of the gadgets, and he's the one who actually like works with the world and like becomes not a shitty killer. He doesn't just need a big fancy bomb that kills everyone. He like figured out how to use a little bug for somehow to do it. But so I think that was what made having a Predator protagonist work for me. Because going in, I was like, how is he going to be like a lame ass? Like I don't want ever to see a Predator that's actually really good at killing people. I feel like they should be heavily armor and gadget reliant.
Yeah. Even Killer of Killers, like where it was heavy emphasis on where they were and then who their prey was. They're so skilled in fighting, like the Vikings with how they fight, the samurai and the ninja in feudal Japan and how they fight. And even like in World War II, where like, yeah, it's like the fact that they used weapons, but like that, it was like being able to be a pilot and being able to use that as a vehicle to fight the prey too. Even with his like gadgets and stuff, the big ship, like he still wasn't able to be successful. So No, yeah, I get that.
I think that character, the pilot in Killer of Killers,
Torres, yeah.
In my opinion, like he was skilled, but I do think he got lucky.
Oh yeah.
But I think that that's kind of a common thing with all these predator kills, right? Like sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're unlucky and you die, and that's just how it works.
Well, has anyone ever lost? That's my thing. When I was watching Killer of Killers, I was like, this is fun and it's really good action. It's a good movie, but God, does it show how bad the Predators are at their job? Like to just watch all three go out back to back to back, and you're like, yeah, that's true. I mean, it's kind of just the convention of a movie. Eventually, the human wins, but then you're like,
right, because a bunch of people die before they win, right?
Sure, but like they always lose, and I think that's
they're very much sore losers in that regard. Then now thinking more about it, because like like even if they lose, like they're still finding a way to cheat in that loss because with just taking the winners and being like, well, you're ours now.
I think
there's no honor in the Predator society.
I mean, I think that that's definitely like the evolution of kind of how this is going. Because if you look at the previous movies, like the way Predator and in the first movie, from what I know I admitted to not seeing the first one, but like I know it, but like that Predator is treated as much of a boogeyman, almost like above your level of like there's no way to win, and then Dutch finds a way. And so you know, that Predator and what little we see there is treated a little bit different. In AVP, what happens at the end is like the girl, I think it's Sanaa Lathan. She defeats the alien with the help of the Predators, and the Predators invite her into the clan. Like she's just part of them now, which is different than kind of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, that seems very not consistent with what he's doing.
Yeah. That being said, we do have a shout out to Curtis J223 out in our chat doing some, you know, critiques on this movie and what they wanted out of this movie. We will get to your comments, but I feel like those comments are best. We're gonna save it for a little bit, but I feel like it's kind of like the thing of like Terminator versus Terminator 2. The idea that like Arnold's Terminator model is like Jason Voorhees, right? Like he how do you possibly defeat him? In the end, you defeat him. So then when he turns into a good guy in number 2, he doesn't turn into the good guy, but they send another model that is good to protect John Connor. Then you need another Terminator who is bigger and badder on top.
Well, it's just kind of all sequels, is you always need a bigger, badder thing. And then if you've been around long enough as a franchise, eventually everyone starts to seem very small.
You have to. Well, it's also kind of like in video games when anytime like in a video game, sometimes there's an option like you defeat a boss, you get to have the boss on your team. Those type of video games, the boss is always never as powerful on your team than they are when you're fighting them. And you're like, what happened there? I thought I was gonna have this god on my team, and now I can't. You know, but I think that like that is just kind of the way the franchise works, where you need something bigger and badder. And like, do we complain in T2 Terminator Judgment Day that like Arnold was wimpy, like because he wasn't as strong as the other Terminator?
I think anyone who complains about that in general is dumb. I saw some of that for this movie. People being like, oh, this Predator is like smaller. That's ridiculous. I just don't see why you would care.
Yeah.
But even if it wasn't, like, why do you care? Like, you're caring about the muscle mass of the fictional alien monster. Like, it's just, I don't get it.
They were all
a lot of projections over there.
There were a lot of naysayers are gonna naysay, right? They're gonna pick and choose on what they want. Like, there are valid critiques of this movie, but the idea that like, why is this character young and why does he have dreads? And
like, they all have dreads?
Yeah, but in a way that like some people were complaining that he was black. Like, but
well, I think a lot of it is like the design, and I know he's the actor who plays Deck is a Samoan Tongan descent, so like there's an indigenous aspect to it as well. So I think it's playing on like the Predators, like, since they're part of the Yautja, and there's a culture behind it and an ideology behind it. So I think it's supposed to be symbolic of indigenous cultures and how they navigate. So I'm not surprised that it would be reminiscent of attributes like that.
I'm more surprised that at least to these people, up until this point, the predators have been white. Is that their take?
I was assuming that they were white.
They've been white until now, and now they're mad that this is the black predator?
I don't know.
That's crazy to me.
I think it's also that the design is different because he's young and because he's a runt. Because people online were already doing like markups of cranium, like the faces and where the hairline is going, and like the other aliens almost seem like they're bald with dreads, and like
this is a level, like, I understand obviously everyone's got the stuff they're nerdy about, but this is a level of depth into the predator that I just can't abide.
Vic Weave says they did change the hairline, quote unquote, hairline of Deck to make him more human, but they always
he looks more human.
They always had tendril like hair.
Yeah.
What did confuse me is when Father takes off his mask, he not only has tendril hair, but he has little actual hair in a beard, like goatee thing.
The thing is, the predator anatomy never made sense anyway. They even make fun of it in this movie. She's like, what eats? Your outside teeth or your inside teeth? Because why do they have them? It's just, they tried to make a scary looking monster. And you can't read into it much more than that.
Right.
Like they're aliens. Like they're supposed to not look human.
And like, you're supposed to wonder, what is that? What is that for? Okay, you know. But I'm sorry, I am reading everything in the chat. Engals says that in AVP they didn't actually accept the character as like in the clan, but gave her a lance as a token of their respect, like they did in Predator 2. I forget what happens at the end of Predator 2, but that does clash with the continuity of Killer Killers.
In Predator 2, because I just literally finished it this morning, once I can't remember Danny Glover's character's name, but once he kills
5 days from retirement.
Yeah. He kills the Yautja, and then all of a sudden the other Yautja clan like somehow like appear on the ship, and it's like, oh, where did y'all come from? And then they take their like fellow like dead Yautja away with them, and then gave them a gun, which now is everything's connecting now because it's the same gun in Killer of Killers that Torres had, and it was like the 1715 gun that's also in Prey, because that was the colonizer's gun. So the gun's just being passed down. So he gives him the 1715 gun to Danny Glover's character, and then he is like, okay, well, and then the ship like leaves. So that's the end of Predator.
So the gun starts off in Prey, then like you see it in Predator 2, like chronologically, and then in Killer of Killers in the future. You would assume
because like how they were given like weapons to kill each other. So like obviously like the shield, the sword, and then the bullet, the gun, and then Torres is like, this is not mine. And then you see it's like an old like 1700 gun, and it's like the 1715 one, and I'm like, oh, that must be a reference to something. And then I looked into it, and I'm like, oh, that gun's been passed around within the Trachtenberg movies.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, wait, so in Predator 2 is, I assume, set in like modern day of like the 80s or 90s or something, right?
Yeah.
And the aliens give him an old-timey gun?
No, the gun is on the wall or something, right? Do they give him the gun, or the gun's on the wall?
I could have sworn they gave him a gun.
That would trip me up more than the fact aliens existed. If I went out and like met an alien and they were like, oh, here, by the way, an artifact for you, and it was just something from Earth from the 1600s, I would be like, flip
what the fuck?
But what if it's not a weapon? What if it's like a Pez dispenser? And you're like,
I was saying, like, imagine they just give you like a pocket watch from back in the day. And you're like, oh, how did you get that? Like, what is this?
But what if it's not even a practical, what if it's a Princess Diana Beanie Baby? Like, what? They don't know what it is. They're like, this must mean something culturally to you.
And it's a Beanie Baby.
Because all Earthlings are the same. So they're like, okay, we picked this up. It must be worth something. And you're like, unfortunately, it's not.
So Trachtenberg really wanted Predator 2 to be part of his canon, which is like, respect.
It sounds like Trachtenberg's a big Predator 2 fan.
Yeah, clearly.
And that Prey is partially an origin story for the weird gun they give Danny Glover.
Yeah.
And that's hilarious.
The chat is saying they do give him the gun. So here's the question. When does the gun leave Danny Glover and go back to
So I guess
when they capture Danny Glover.
Yeah.
The retcon of like they're capturing the winner, freezing them and whatever. I like it. But it also it's like, do they come back later? Like
they come back at the end of Prey, like in the credits. They have like the credits are like told through drawings.
That's
like
right.
the whole movie, and at the end of that little version of the movie, the predators come back and take her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they just return.
Yeah, I was so disappointed there wasn't a sequel to Prey.
I mean, just wait. She's coming back. There's no
problem.
Be patient, Dimitri.
She'll never go back to her original time.
You don't know that.
There's no.
What if it's Predator Endgame?
Like we know,
could be anything.
Time travel.
It could be anything. We don't know what she's gonna do.
Okay.
Like
I saw somewhere that I think Dan's original pitch for Badlands was that they were going to put him, which doesn't make sense because they already had him in the World War II setting, but they wanted the Yaocha to be killing like Nazis in World War II, and I'm like, honestly, like you could still do that. I would still watch it. So
yeah, well now that's what you do with like now we have a heroic predator. That's what you use him for.
Yeah, that can go over there
to fight Nazis. And
yeah, there you go.
Go for the predator.
Exactly.
But also this is unrelated, kind of, but just because we keep saying all the names, I think that all the names are wrong, and that it bugs me. I think Prey should have been called Killer of Killers because at one point the girl literally says it's a killer of killers, which layup. I think this movie should have been called Prey because the whole joke is that the predator is the prey now. And then I think that Killer of Killers could have been called Badlands. There's not really a reason, but like it's fine.
You had me until that last part, but okay.
No, but like that's really my issue.
You should add Dan and be like, you need to reach
Prey, and the other one should have been Killer of Killers.
Yeah.
Predator Anthology can be called whatever the hell you want it to be called. Like,
you hear that, Dan? You should change the names of your movies.
They should. It's crazy this one's not called Prey. Like,
yeah.
The other Prey is a normal Predator movie. The whole like pitch of like, oh, this one we're calling it Prey works better for this movie, where it's actual version of the concept.
Yeah. It's kind of like when people bring up that the second Doctor Strange movie should have been called No Way Home, and that Spider-Man should have been Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But that would have spoiled Spider-Man though, because you weren't supposed to know. But they tried so hard to make people not know.
Andrew Garfield was fighting for his life in a movie press tour that was not Spider-Man to be like, I'm not in this movie. And he was in this movie.
That's why I don't like now we're just on a full other topic. That's why I don't like the revisionist history of people being like, oh, Marvel caters too much to Easter eggs. Like all of No Way Home was just about these two. It's like, no, they tried so hard. They were like edited them out of trailers. The people went to like found Brazilian toy contracts to like spoil it. It was crazy. The lengths people went to. Yeah. It was just, they tried so hard to not make it be marketed on the cameos.
Yeah.
But
let's talk about Thea and Tessa. Let's talk about Elfie.
And on that note,
we'll switch over to that because also the idea is there are no humans technically. There are human-looking creatures, but there are no humans in this whole movie. We just get the synths, which are the only reference to the Alien franchise is Weyland-Yutani, and that's it. Like we don't see any aliens or xenomorphs or anything. We see aliens. We don't see the xenomorphs. We just have Weyland-Yutani. They don't even make reference to the xenomorphs.
Well, how would you?
No.
You'd have to be like, oh, this is like that other alien we've studied, the alien TM. Do they even call them xenomorphs in the movies? Is that? I know an alien and then an aliens. I'm pretty sure they still don't. And then eventually, I think they start doing it. But I know for fact, an alien they never say xenomorph.
I don't know. Have they said it in Alien Earth? Now I can't even remember if they said it in Alien Earth.
I'm sure the chat will know because the chat has been pretty good up until this point.
I will say I'm glad I watched Alien Earth prior to Badlands because of the Weyland-Yutani reference and the synths, because synths were a big part of Alien Earth and the other corporation being able to create synths and make it human-like. So, but I do like how there was, I think in our screening, Dimitri, where Dan was talking about like how to organically it was like he didn't want it to be like forced into it, like, oh, Weyland-Yutani, but like he found a way to kind of have it there, but not have it be the focal point of a Predator movie. So it's like the acknowledgement, but not the focal point.
Yeah. And also it felt less like a crossover and more like this is a thing that exists in the Predator franchise, which at this point it is. Like Weyland-Yutani as like a robotics developer just does exist. Also, do they not reference? There's something about how they go get aliens for their bio powers, which would be an ostensible reference to the inciting incident of every single Alien movie. But
at least now they're not sending humans. I'll say that.
Well, this also like this is like the more logical way for Weyland-Yutani to work.
Yeah,
if you have this many robots, like why don't you do this?
Yeah.
No, I liked this is what I was saying earlier, like where what I liked about this movie is I was watching it and I was enjoying him like in the weird world fighting the animals. And then when they started getting more into the robot people, I was like, oh, you know, it'd be fun is if they did like an alien movie, but the alien, instead of being a xenomorph, is a predator. And it's like Predator versus all of the space truckers and stuff. And then that just became the film. And I was like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted in my head. And then they just did that instead. And so it shifted at the exact right moment for me. And I was like, at the end.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what the synths were after. And then
the callus.
Because at first I was like, are they going to capture Predator? Because that's who they want. But then they wouldn't.
That's what I thought the twist was. When they didn't say the name of the creature, it was like capture creature XX902. I thought the twist was going to be that like predators come to kill the unkillable all the time, and Weyland's taking the Auja.
Yeah.
But that was just not the plot of the movie.
It makes more sense for them to go after the bigger game, which was the callus, and because of the regenerating, because when it was revealed that they could regenerate, which is why it's unkillable, it makes sense why the Weyland-Yutani would want it on behalf of like through the synths, because the humans would want to be able to regenerate and stay immortal.
Do you think they wanted the ability to have people be able to regenerate so that next time they try to steal from the xenomorphs, they could just not all die on the ship?
That makes sense too. Like that's a big focal point of Alien Earth too. So I go not just make it sound like I love Alien Earth, but I think everything kind of connects. But like in Alien Earth, like that's a big it's like about mortality for these humans. So again, like it makes sense why they would go try to find things in this universe that could help them elongate their lifespan.
Yeah, I thought it made total sense. Even just down to like, because like I'm joking around, but yeah, like the plot of Alien and then Alien, the new one that was like a remake that just came out, whatever.
Prometheus.
No, Romulus.
No, Romulus.
Yeah, Romulus.
Yeah, sorry.
But like the idea for both of those is that like, oh, we sent people to get an alien, and then they're like, oh, the alien's broken out, and then Weyland's like, doesn't matter, just bring it home anyway, and then they all get killed. And I feel like it makes sense that they're trying this with other species too. I like the idea that Weyland-Yutani is actually attempting to capture lots of species to study, and it's just this one is actually the one that's the hardest to catch, and not just they happen to be getting fucked over by xenomorphs constantly every time they try to do this scheme.
Is Alien Earth like about a zoo? Like, do they have a zoo of things that they've created? Like, do they create the aliens in Alien Earth?
No.
Or have they captured them and now they're all on a zoo ship? And
they're capturing them. I can't remember because like there's a Peter Pan like also like
I heard about
they all have
Peter Pan names, Lost Boy names, so like the CEO who's like this young like 27-year-old like trillionaire, like we're at trillionaire in this world.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
I mean, with inflation though, they're only like they got $100 to their name. Adjusted for inflation, they're like, I am poor. I am one poor trillionaire.
But yeah, so that's what I think they're trying to do. Is just like a zoo, I guess, in that regard of like trying to capture all these like aliens and like studying them and seeing how we can exploit them, extract whatever part of their physical attributes for the benefit of humanity. So
okay. I just haven't been keeping up with Alien Earth. It seems that Weyland-Yutani has learn from their mistakes, so they're sending synths out and whatnot. So we do see Thea. We do learn that she has a twin, Tessa, who is really mangled up. When we see her, do you guys expect Thea to be bad? Were you guys expecting a turn there?
No, not in like. I didn't expect her to turn against Tessa, or the other way around. I didn't expect Tessa to turn against Thea, but. I did expect that she would try to kill the Auja because that seemed like her MO to begin with. But I was still also that whole time before the twist laboring under the belief that they were going to kill the Auja anyway. Like up until Thea is like, I lied to you, I was still like, this is definitely what's happening. Because I didn't think the callus existed. That was like my hot take as I was watching the film, is that was like not a real animal that he could kill because it was they just say there's an unkillable animal there. And then I thought that was going to be the twist, as they were hunting predators. But No, none of that was true. So it's just a lot of me gaslighting myself as I watched the film, impacting my thoughts on what characters' motivations were.
Yeah. The whole time I was thinking to myself, how is Elle Fanning acting without a lower half? Not in real life, without a lower half. But I was thinking about like the actual thing when she's on the ground, she's supporting herself with her arms. I'm like, how do they do?
I think her legs are just behind her, you know.
But then
like,
your body is
dragging.
like kind of yeah.
I think there gotta be some like green screen like thing
Yeah.
they wrapped around, so then like she's just like walking on her
Yeah,
on her.
that's what I said.
But you
Like,
look different.
Yeah.
It's like a centaur. Like
they have CGI. 90% of this movie is animated. I feel like they could make her walk on her hands.
Yeah.
I will say the one shot of him like holding her like this as they're walking, like before they go to backpack mode, is the most obvious I've ever seen. Like obviously they green screen out her legs. Because it's just a shot of him holding her normal, and then you just can't see the legs, and it's so funny to me.
Yeah. So they team up, and I like them teaming up, and I felt really sad when they left Bud behind, and I was like, oh,
poor Bud. But then they found him again in the rain, all sad.
Yeah.
I feel like they could merchandise Bud. Because given it's Disney, I feel like
that's why Bud exists. Like it was giving very Star Wars style. Like, we got to give him a little space buddy that could be turned into a plushie.
Exactly, and I would buy it. So that's the unfortunate part. I would buy it.
It's funny you guys bring some of that stuff up because there is some things in the chat that we will get to. But so don't worry, Curtis J223, if you're still out there. By the way, anyone out there who's watching us live on YouTube.com/The Keeg Show, like, comment, subscribe, follow, jump in the chat, follow Marmar and Nikhil on their platforms as well. So, with everything that's going on with these characters, we meet the Callus. Is that what you said? Callisk. We meet the Callisk, and we find out that like Deck's not getting out of this. Like, chops off the head.
Himself.
The head comes back. Like, how do you defeat this animal?
But
we did see
again,
him
like
through.
He would have been able to with his tools. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's because if he had all of his stuff, he would have won in 10 seconds, and then he would never get to grow or self-learn.
That's true.
Huh? Yeah. So what does that mean? Does that mean something? Like, is it?
He had to learn. He had to learn how to like be resourceful and learn from his like what I mean. Like I think symbolically, like all of the Yautja like weaponry and armor were like again like it was a way to cheat the game, I guess, too. And to Nikhil's point, like they're not good fighters, like combat fighters, so that's why they have all this weaponry. So I guess it makes sense why he had to put through that ringer of like using again because like by the time we get to the third act, like he's using all the resources from like the environment and the animals, and that was his weapon, new like weapons.
Yeah.
So
that's I think it is. At least in Trachtenberg's version, like some of the older movies, I don't know how well it would line up, but I do think they're supposed to be like the big game hunters of this world, and they are like Deck. If he had his stuff, would have been fine the whole time, but it's because he doesn't that he has to like rely on other people and do other things and learn and grow as a person. And I think that is like the message, because in Prey, it's very clear the connection between the Predator and the colonist. Like she's having two separate issues, and they're both weirdly parallel to each other. Yeah. And it's the colonialists and then the Predator. And to the point that at first, when I watched Prey, I thought the Predator was using the bear traps, and I was like, "That's funny that he has bear traps, like just normal bear traps in the woods right now." But then I was like, "Oh yeah, duh. Obviously, there's another real problem happening in this setting." But so I think that's like what that whole point is, and that's why this bad guy Weyland-Yutani, which is like the most tech and AI and artificial, non-human, non-natural, is the one that uses the power to kill the Callus.
Yeah. Well, I guess the question would be, how did the other Yautja not?
I was just immediately thinking.
I think they probably just got killed when they landed. Like you got to go through a lot of stuff to be able to use this thing. But
if they're fully like geared up and everything, just like they should be able to.
You gotta hand wave some of it. Like I don't know. This is my issue with all Predator movies. Is like at a certain point you have to decide if they can kill everything or if they can't kill anything.
Maybe it's a mix of both. You know, I mean, like it's his weapons, his original weapons, and then being able to know how to have the environment work with you,
Mm-hmm.
and then ultimately being able to get to that point of the callus, but then again, like Deck was able to even like survive it because he also was friends with Bud, where it was revealed that like because
True.
Bud was able to spit on him, and then Mama Callus was like, "Oh
True, true,
wait, your
true.
friend."
Yeah, that's all about building because this is what also Thea says when she's like they gave them emotions so that they could be in one with the world, and then that's how he can do it. He develops the best like instant pack relationship with that little bug spider thing of any animal
Yeah,
ever. That thing died for him.
I
That was
Oh,
crazy.
it's not
know.
a bug.
I
It's like
was
an
so
eel,
sad.
right? It's like
Like an
it's
eel, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like not a
That
spider, yeah.
actually made me sad. I was like,
I
wow,
was
like
just like, why?
I
I thought you were
was
doing this for treats, dude. Like, but at the end, somehow the most valiant sacrifice of the movie is
yeah,
this little eel guy. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
damn.
because I think it was more than just a transactional thing. It almost became a pet, right?
Yeah, that's what, but
yeah.
like instantly. He lures him out with some treats, and then the thing's just with him.
Because he
He's
keeps
doing
feeding
whatever he
them and like he treats them nicely, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
somewhere off screen, he trained him very well
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that they could pull off all these trick shots. Um, I don't know how much time passed between like them starting to walk to the base and
Hmm.
him doing all of this, but apparently at some point he trained the eel very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess they developed a relationship. He didn't seem very sad when it died, though, to
I
be
know. He was like, "Oh, okay,
he
thanks."
learned that he had to have empathy for Bud. And then I guess that's where
Yeah.
the line.
That was his capacity was just for Bud and Thea, and he's like, I'm done."
I thought also again, like me just being wrong about movies. I thought that also at the end when he was like, "Oh, we're gonna save his mom, and then I'm gonna get my trophy." What it was gonna be
Mm,
is because he had like such a literal Drax style mind up until then that he was gonna like cut off the foot or something, and then it would heal, so it'd be fine, but he'd still have his trophy. And I was like, that would be hilarious if he just gave it. He was like, "Look,
that's true. Yeah, because I was yeah, because at some point I was like, wait, is he actually going to like? Because he already now is friends with Bud, so it's like,
Yeah.
sorry, Bud, I'm gonna cut off your mom's head. I guess her head can grow back
yeah,
or
I don't
something.
know."
But,
I don't
yeah.
know what Deck's plan was actually,
Yeah.
because I think the only reason the robot works as his trophy is because the robot killed the callus.
Yeah.
So it's like you go one up, and now that's the same thing. But that hadn't happened yet when he said that line. So I don't really know what his idea was. Because at least based on the opening with the brother, where they had to pick, I don't think it's just go and find something to kill and come back. Like I think you
Yeah.
have to kill the one thing.
Well,
So
you get a choice of all the biggest things on different planets.
that's what I'm saying.
So
But I
you
don't
get
know
to
if you can
scroll
just be
through the
like, oh,
planets.
but a different thing showed up and I liked that more, so I killed it. Does
I
that
mean, that's
count?
what he does.
That's what I'm saying. Like, does he? Because it also just works. Like it
Yeah.
happens to work out to where he killed the thing that killed the callus.
Yeah.
Like you can't kill
Oh,
what's already dead. So I feel like that makes sense. You can scale up
oh yeah,
whatever
yeah,
killed it.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what his plan was. It
I
doesn't
was
really matter because he was coming home to kill his dad anyway. So like
Yeah.
it was more like just to throw something at him first. But
He's like, I killed the callus and then I'm gonna kill you. So that's
yeah.
yeah.
I,
I
I,
was sad that the callus died the way it did. I should have seen it coming, but it was kind of because I was like, oh, it's the mom.
Yeah.
And then Bud's
Where's the
just like,
dad? Where's Daddy Callus? That's my question.
we don't know how they reproduce.
We
that's
don't.
true.
Yeah.
We don't know. I could.
Maybe.
You want like an asexual callus? Is that what you're getting at
We
here?
always jump to
They
that. We
clone?
always jump to they either have two parents or they have like just themselves. But I mean, they could have other alien species. Just a side note, in Animorphs, the slugs that take over people's brains, they have three parents because the slugs, the Yerks, they're called, come together in threes and then they merge and then they split off into smaller units that then grow. So they die when they procreate.
Well,
Maybe it's that.
yeah, maybe it's that. So then we're missing two
Yeah.
calluses.
Yeah, you were only counting like you're like, oh, I think it only there's only two of them and there's a third one. Yeah, cool.
And then they stop and explain the Animorphs thing in the
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
so that everyone understands what's happening.
Yeah, Dan Trachtenberg at the Q&A, he's like, well, actually, we got this idea from Animorphs. So, but so, Engals says, I found it weird that he wouldn't allow Bud to accompany them when in Predators 1, they used hounds in their hunt. In Predators,
Okay.
One
Not the first
used-
Predator.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Predators, one used hounds in their hunt. There are hounds in The Predator, which is the Olivia Munn Keegan-Michael Key
Okay.
one. There is like a Predator dog.
I feel like, again, I don't want to speak too much for this band I've never met, but it feels to me like Trachtenberg is doing one of those like reboot things where you only pay attention to the original, you know?
Yeah.
Like Halloween did or Terminator or
Yeah.
something, where you're just like, all the in-between stuff didn't happen.
Yeah.
We'll stick
Yeah.
with
It's
the OG
1,
one.
2, and then my movies. Yeah.
But to be fair, Predator 2 is clearly involved because he loves the gun. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
who knows where he draws the line in terms of
It's probably no AVPs, you know, and none of the other two maybe, but they could also pull like a Marvel, because like Marvel kind of does this where they're like, oh, that's just like one sect of the Skrulls.
I have heard that is what this movie is. Like on threads where people like are yelling about this film, I've seen people being like, this is a different clan than the normal Predator clan. And so it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
that works for me.
I'm cool with that, you know? But I want to get to the critique that I don't think he's here anymore. But you know, Curtis, if you are here, Curtis J223, my first time reading anything from Curtis. Curtis had more negative aspects to talk about this movie with. Saying that the movie is for kids. Deck didn't complete his hunt because he got sentimental over Baby Yoda, and then chose Baby Yoda, assuming in the over the clan, and that Curtis doesn't want his Predator sitting around a campfire discussing his feelings.
Well, unfortunate for Curtis. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's gonna be movies for everyone.
Yeah.
There's enough of Predator as like a basically characterless boogeyman. I don't like the whole premise of this film, like in the marketing aspect, was like, what if the Predator was the good guy? I feel like it's a little silly to go in and be like, well, why was he the good guy? Like, just watch any other movie where he's not the good guy.
Yeah. It was the direction he chose, and you know, they went with it. That's what I think about Predator Badlands is like I wish it was a little bit deeper, but like the direction they chose and like sort of the more levity sort of moments are like kind of unusual for Predator movies, but like at the same time, this is its own movie. It's
also like, I don't know. I still don't really like it, but I have more benefit of the doubt for these kind of takes when it's like James Bond or Batman or someone where it's supposed to be one guy and then everyone's like, oh, I don't want Batman to do this. But like, it's a Predator. Isn't it like, what does it mean? I don't want my Predator. You'll have another Predator in 2 years. Like it doesn't, they all
That's
exist.
Also the thing. It's like my whatever character I own. And I have to think that way too, because I mean, as an X-Men fan, it's like, well, I don't make the decisions for X-Men stuff. So anytime I read a comic and I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. It's like
that's what I'm saying. Those are still like a character. Like Gambit's like Gambit. Charles Xavier. You can look at other things and be like, oh, this is how this character should act. Right. Predator is like a concept. It's like an idea. It's like if you saw, there's no guarantee that Deck is like going to lead a 5-film franchise now. You know, like this isn't the Predator you're stuck with, most likely. Yeah. We're going to see another Predator that's more like the normal Predator, probably between the next time we see Deck. It's just how it works. Go ahead.
That's the thing, to your point, like there are different, like every movie had a different Predator. It wasn't the same Predator. So that's why it's interesting. It's like, oh, my Predator, but it's like also like there are so many Predators that like every movie had a different Predator. They were just part of the Yautja. So
and they all die except for Deck. So really, Deck's the manliest one.
I was going to mention earlier that our idea of what Yautja culture is kind of biased because of like survivorship bias in a way. And like the way they kind of deal with it in this is like, if you kill the runt before they even go on to their first expedition, you can say that but everybody who comes back alive is not a runt. But that's because you killed all the runts.
So like all of the ones that die on their missions are not there. Like you specifically only have the victor Predators, which again would not count anyone who has been in any other movie because they all die.
Right.
Like.
Right.
Exactly.
It's the only ones who made it back were the ones who won in whatever way. And again, some of them could have been unlucky. They could have been actually the best of the best Predators, but gone up against Dutch from Predator 1 and like he lucks out. Okay, great. You know,
Dutch wasn't luck.
No,
Dutch
I
had
know,
to
but
grab the mud and everything. Like I think again, having not seen the majority of this franchise, they've all died for good reasons.
but like, what if Dutch
Yeah.
wasn't there? If Dutch wasn't part of that team, the Predator would have come in, killed everybody, and then like been like, boom, I'm good. Peace out. Now they're a victor. It's really just, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. Like, what if the monster I was hunting was slightly less good?
Exactly.
Like that's
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's fine. I think here's the thing. I don't think Deck could have gotten through a bunch of Vietnam soldiers either. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Also, there's no stealth in this. I remembered that.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
have his
'cause
stealth.
it's the goal. He's trying to get the cloak because the cloak would have been too broken. Then he would have been fine. Like actually fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think that just in a more meta aspect of like how do these studios work with their franchises is like things do get old. Everybody wants, let's just say, people always say what they want, but they realize like you want how many movies of this idea do you want? Because like if we just have a movie where a predator is going in, killing a bunch of humans, and then like that's each movie. Now we got 10 of these. Like they've had multiple movies in the past, like however long, like with a bunch of predators doing their different things, and it's like now they have to try new things. And it's not just new things as in plot or lore, but it's also like exploring new themes and new tones and new like ideas, because that's like a whole different thing. And the idea that like this movie is PG-13, I was thinking to myself like, oh, what part of this movie would be rated R?
It was interesting because we had this conversation when we were going into it when he told me that it was PG-13, and I thought it was just assuming it was rated R, but I think because there's no humans in it, and then even though like the scents looked like humans, like the kills were technically not.
They don't have blood.
Yeah, there's no blood.
What
And
color?
that's really
It's
what
like
it is.
milk,
Is that
right?
if you wanted to make it R, and if you wanted to appeal to people that are like, oh, this is just a kids movie, it's you do the same movie. It's just you instead of saying they're synths, you say they're humans, except for
Yeah.
Thea. And then you have when the bud is running around ripping off their arms, have a bunch of blood, and everyone will be like, whoa, that was gory as hell.
Yeah.
Like,
and it doesn't change anything. Like it doesn't make me enjoy this any more or less. It just.
and you have to hire so many more actors than just that one man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. The Agent Smith of this movie. You know?
did like it's kind of funny. I feel like it is part of the message of the film. Like I think this was very intentional by Trachtenberg, but it did crack me up that the ones they gave emotions to were women, and then the rest of the soldiers were all that man.
Yeah.
It was like we have two models. The emotional one's the woman model. The non-emotional one is the male model, and that's it.
Also, the Callisk is, as far as I remember, the Callisk is female, and so is Bud. I think Bud's a female.
I think Bud is a woman. I could not, honestly.
I think
But little girl.
Yeah.
And then there's something actually too with the ending with the mother coming back as like the real big bad. Like he's doing something with gender roles.
Right.
I don't quite know what it is off the top of my head right now, but
Right.
He's playing with it somehow.
Yeah.
And I think that like if you are exploring these concepts, I think that like around a campfire talking about their feelings, like I think that's a reductionist way of like viewing this, but also the idea that like this predator was cast out. He was they tried to kill him. Like he doesn't have to stick to the rules anymore. He can explore himself full norms of what he thinks is normal, which is like kill or be killed, or kill something before they dishonor you in a way, like kill your progeny, whatever. Like, and I think that's the point of this movie. So I don't think anyone can complain that this movie explored more feelings, because like that is the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Do these monsters have feelings? Yes, they do, because they're not just monsters. They're like a race of aliens. What does that mean? You know?
It is, though. I do see that like it's more sci-fi than I think most Predators get. Like a lot of Predators in between horror and action. This one was more interested in the sci-fi aspect of it. And it got more to like a Star Wars-y, Star Trek-y space. And so I can see some people not liking that tone, but I do like the general concept of like, oh, this predator has feelings. I agree, is the conceit of the film.
Right. I mean, a comparable character that like people do complain about, I don't know how you guys feel about the Punisher and like when he had the show versus like in the comics, you know, Punisher in the comics, let's just say Garth Ennis's comics, he's just a mindless killing machine, you know? And like that's the joy of the comics, let's just say, if you like the character, is like these crazy kills. But like the idea is like you're gonna hinge 2 seasons of a Netflix show on.
Do people do people think Bernthal's Punisher was too pansy? That's crazy to me.
That's wild. They think that.
I remember people when it came out complaining that like, why would he have love interests? Why is he caring about this kid?
He has love interest in the book.
He barely has love interest in the book.
He has them though. He barely has a love interest in the show.
Yeah. But he's too hung up on his wife and dead child.
He famously cares about people. That's like #1 most notable Punisher fact is loved family.
In the show, he does have the girl tag along the whole time, and people are like, "Well, I don't want to see this." I was like, "Well,
yeah." To be fair, that's season 2. I think I don't like season 2 as much. I think that's just a worse season. But
yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's because he happened to care about someone.
Yeah,
that's silly.
I'm just saying, like, people. I get it. Some people just want to see Batman punch people, but like, it does get old. As a Batman fan, like, I get it. You got to explore other things, you know. Some people just want to see the Batman fight the Joker all the time, every single time.
Well, I think there's, not to get too much reading into this person's comment. I'm not talking about this person specifically, but I do think there are a lot of people who want the same, like they just want the movie that they liked, and then they see new movies as like replacements for the old movie, and so then it's judged by terms of like, well, does this deserve to replace my movie I like?
Yeah,
and that's just not what this is at any capacity. Like,
it's never a replacement.
Yeah, it's never a matter of like, oh, instead of Arnold's Predator movie, now we have this one. We have both, and like that's fine. And if you want the themes and the messages of Arnold's, it's there.
Yeah. Well, unless they do a weird retcon where they're like, well, Arnold actually, I don't know.
Even then, though, that doesn't actually affect watching Predator. Like, you can always go back and watch the original movie, even if they're like, actually twist, this is what really happened after the credits rolled.
I'm just going to be a devil's advocate and say, like, it depends, because the ending of How I Met Your Mother spoiled. I could not rewatch the show because I used to love the show. The ending of How I Met Your Mother spoiled it so much that I can't go back ever, because I know
I would
within
agree.
The context of the show.
I would agree, but I think that's different because that's one project. Like, How I Met Your Mother ruined How I Met Your Mother. If they made How I Met Your Mother 2 right now, like a reboot series,
well, they did
stuff.
They did
they made How I Met Your Dad, but I mean, like with the crew or whatever, and then they changed some stuff. I would still be like, just watch How I Met Your Mother if you don't like it.
That's true.
But I do agree. I could go talk forever about how they fucked up How I Met Your Mother. I don't even.
That's a whole different thing.
If you have, I wouldn't have even minded the way it ended. Just why spend the entire last season on the wedding that you immediately get annul 10 seconds into the finale? Like, that's what I thought was just personally disrespectful. Like, how do you spend 10 episodes on this and then immediately be like, none of that mattered anyway?
Yeah. Again, How I Met Your Mother. Who would have thought we'd be talking about How I Met Your Mother on Predator Badlands? But like, sure, you know.
Anything can happen.
Could this have been retitled to How I Met My Mother? Because at the end, his mother shows up.
I guess it's How I Met. Yeah, it's still How I Met Your Mother, and it would be Thea's sentence.
Yes,
How I Met Your Mother. The story of how Thea met this man's mother.
Yeah,
that's what we all came here for. To find out.
And then How I Met Your Mother could be renamed to Predator because of Barney.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
We're just swapping names out here, you know? So I think that like people just get very dedicated and devoted to their original movie, and like people don't like to see franchises change and whatever. And sometimes franchises change for the worse, but sometimes they grow and they explore new things. And I think it's kind of like mother and father got a divorce, and now you got a stepmom. You'll never be my mom. Yeah, but like she'll be your stepmom, and that's okay. You know? Yeah. Maybe if she's really shitty, that's horrible, and I'm sorry. But
I feel like the analogy's breaking down a little bit, yeah.
and then Barney Stinson comes in, and you know, So, with Predator Badlands and everything, I guess let's talk about the final scene. So they storm the castle, right? Like they storm the base, and there's a lot of really cool, like innovative fights in it. Like the whole Thea and her legs.
That was fun. That was
fun.
Really fun. I love how much emphasis they put on too, to be like, this is how she could control the legs. Like the amount of shots they had of the little like Bluetooth controller still being in the waist. I was like, this is great. They're like, don't think just because she's a robot, she could have done this at any time. She had to put this thing on it specifically. And you have to watch and make sure it doesn't leave, because that's how she's doing this.
Does she know where it's going? Can she?
Yeah, she's doing it.
Yeah, but
that's what it is.
She can't see out of her legs.
I don't know how she sees, but she's doing it, and that's what matters. And somehow she's walking towards herself. That's how they know where to go.
Yeah,
because they followed the legs back to the thing.
Yeah,
and obviously she can't see enough to know that they were following her, because she asks Deck what he's doing there. She's like surprised to see him. So who knows what the plan was on her end?
But it can't just walk straight. Like, what if it walks off a cliff?
That's what I'm saying. She's walking. Like, it is the way, at least it read to me, is because she put that thing in it. She's just, those are her legs now.
Yeah.
And so she's
there's got to be a tracker.
Back.
Yeah, maybe in her whatever field of vision, like she has a tracker of the legs and is like navigating it back towards her.
Yeah.
True. She is a robot. She doesn't need to like visibly see things.
A robot.
And her brain, it could just be like a GPS situation, and she's just moving the thing around.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I laughed out loud. It was so funny because I gasped and laughed when she's trying to pair her legs to her body again, and then what flies through? Something flies through, and then breaks her apart again while she's on
the opening like Callus fight is so good. I also laughed when he goes and grabs the gun instead of her hand and then keeps shooting. Yeah. And he's like, help yourself tool. It's so funny.
There is a sort of action comedy element to this, but not in an absurdist way. No.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's very Star Wars. It felt like Disney Star Wars movies.
Is that a bad thing?
Not to me, it's not. They had a lot of the same criticisms that that one person was just levying against this movie too, though. So maybe it's just a tonal bias. Who knows?
Yeah. The final machine thing. People listen to the podcast don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but like
like a crane, like the
alien, the thing from Alien. 1 or 2.
That was from Alien. That was from an Alien movie.
Yeah, it's the alien thing.
A contraption that she had, the machine contraption thing, the yellow thing, and then she used it to
fight the
Kalisk. Yeah.
And so this one is to fight the Predator, or to fight the Kalisk.
Yeah.
You can tell this Weyland-Yutani has learned from the Xenomorph encounters, and I appreciate that a lot. I think that's a very funny attention to detail of like, this is what they do. They try to capture animals. They're not very good at it. They have resources to fight them in case they need to.
Yeah.
What do you think they learned from it?
Like the having the thingy to fight them and stuff. I think that is what it is. Like,
is that a fight? I thought that's just like a transport machine sort
it's of. It's to pick up heavy machinery, but you can use it to fight monsters.
Because it has a buzzsaw at the end.
Yeah, that's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys, I'm trying to think of like what because we've jumped around a lot, but like with the end of this fight and everything with Tessa being swallowed alive, I saw that coming. I was like, oh, she's gonna blow it up or something.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier where I was like, I didn't expect, like, I mean, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, swallowed, fine. But then, yeah, I think Tessa being the one to kill the Kalisk, like that. Again, going back to, like, that was, like, tech from Deck.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, in a sense, yeah, if he had that, like, he probably could have defeated the Kalisk much sooner. But, yeah, it was just unfortunate because I think because you have an emotional attachment to the Kalisk now because it's connected to Bud, that you have an emotional attachment to Bud. So it was kind of sad that the Kalisk went out the way it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't super fulfilled by her killing it. I kind of would have preferred. I was also not super fulfilled by it killing her. I thought both of those were kind of strange decisions. I kind of assumed she'd come back. I didn't think she would just kill it and blow it up, and then it would be gone forever. But I mean, I don't know. You gotta do what you gotta do. And then again, you had to set up so that he could kill it or kill her. So then it wins. It works. It's all fine.
Yeah, but, and Bud could tear the head off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Bud could tear the head off.
Look, I get what Curtis J was saying, that Bud is kind of like Baby Yoda in that respect.
Bud is definitely like Baby Yoda. I don't want to get the impression that I fully disagree with Curtis. I just think it is a matter of like meeting films on their own foot, you know?
Yeah.
But like, yeah. I mean, I called him like a Star Wars porg like thing to kid with. I think he is there to sell toys. And he's gonna be like the wacky sci-fi.
I don't know. Are they selling toys for this even?
I don't know. But
I mean,
like,
we got a keychain from our screening. We got a keychain of Deck's head.
Yeah.
From the screening, so I wouldn't put it past them to try to merchandise.
But like, even if you're not literally merchandising it, it is like the wacky sci-fi sidekick trope, and
it is a trope.
It is what it is, and it's fun. He's a little cute. He's definitely Baby Yoda. That is just true.
It looks like there's like not adult toys, but like the toys meant for adults, for Predator Badlands, as opposed to like kids' toys.
Do they even make kids' toys anymore?
They do. Whenever I'm in
Target, like every action figure is like $500, and then they're all for adults. What do kids like right now? K-pop Demon Hunters. I know that.
Yeah.
Kids would rather spend money on Fortnite skins than have the toy of that character.
That's actually very fair.
That's very.
I feel like I would have made the same call as a child, because then you could be the character. That's way better.
Yeah, and then you collect those, right? Like, you know.
Again, a random side note: Fortnite right now is Simpsons themed, and they're gonna bring Mo the bartender in, and I'm gonna buy that skin. I haven't bought a skin since the Marvel season. I haven't played since the Marvel season, but I came back for the Simpsons one. So I love the Simpsons, and I'm gonna get to be Mo, and I'm gonna get to shoot people as Mo. And that is my favorite thing on earth.
I always do.
I love that for you.
Or DC stuff. Yeah.
Did you say Marmor?
Oh, I love that for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So final scene of this movie, we see Deck approach his father. He throws the skull, the synth skull down. He doesn't reveal.
Immediately turns the cloak against him by using the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anti-technology movie. Love to see it.
You say anti-technology movie?
Yeah.
Well, he uses the environment, but he does use the.
No, but like again, thrusters. And the idea like they always cheat, and then his dad tries to cheat, and he's like, bitch, sand, and then
yeah.
I like that. I hated his dad.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to. I don't think you're supposed to come out thinking the dad's a super nuanced character.
Like he literally killed his other son because because the other son couldn't kill that son that he intended to kill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised though if there's somebody online being like, "Oh, this movie should have just been his dad." I would want to.
Well, I think that is the idea of the film. Like the dad is the normal predator. And then now we're seeing the one that doesn't fit in with the normal predators. But the dad would definitely be the villain of a Predator movie.
Yeah.
Except probably not, because then he would have to die. And apparently he survived his. So good for him.
Yeah. And then turns out Deck is making a crew. And the callous Bud has grown up a little bit.
Yeah, they did a little like Groot style evolution at the end.
Well, you're saying Groot style evolution?
At the end of every Guardians movie,
he grows
the
more.
One shot right before the credits where Groot's like bigger.
Yeah.
Like even at the end of Guardians 3, they have like him and Rocket in the sand, and Groot's like an adult for some reason again. Like they just love to be like, oh yeah, next time Groot's gonna be bigger. Yeah. So get hype.
I'm just laughing because that's your reference. Because me in my head, I went straight to Pokemon. So like Squirtle just grew up to Wartortle, and he's Wartortle.
Oh yeah, but that's an evolution thing for sure. I was just more talking about in the plot of the movie, like having it just be in that end scene. He just happens to be bigger.
I would have went to Groot too. I'm like, that was a very Groot move.
Nice.
That's fair. It's also could be that I'm playing Pokemon right now on my phone too. So, fair. at the end of this movie, Mother shows up. We don't know what that means. And we also, I don't know what they have planned for this franchise next. Do you guys know? Like, what comes next? Either
Predator Avengers. I don't know who they're avenging. I don't know why, and I don't know who's going to be involved. But there's no other possible culmination that I could see. After Killer of Killers like confirmed they were taking the victors back and then showed it to us, and now it ends on Predator Land, and this movie ends in Predator Land. They got to come together.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to be. Maybe there's another piece. Maybe there's another Predator movie that's going to like tie it all together, and then we're set up for Predator Avengers. Who knows? But I also kind of feel like they are laying the seeds for another Alien versus Predator. I feel like that is on the horizon.
I think they're keeping them separate for now, right? They're trying to develop them both like separately before.
That makes sense.
Right.
But then you gotta eventually, like, they can't both be this big and this involved with each other, at least on the Predator side. I don't think Alien messes around with Predator as much on its end, but like at this point, if they keep getting this big and this popular, at some point you got to bring them back together.
I think the other times that they did were not good, so then they're like, well, let's.
That's why you don't have Trachtenberg, the man who somehow sees all of this bad stuff and is like, hey, I can make it good. Personally. And I will dedicate my life to bring back Predator.
Yeah.
Good for Dan.
Turns out, at least as far as Wikipedia is concerned, it was saying that for Dan Trachtenberg, he views his trilogy not with Killer of Killers. It's Prey, Predator, Badlands, and a third one that he's going to do. So
probably the live actions. That would make sense from like a filmmaker.
Killer of Killers is like the separate thing. You know,
Killer of Killers, I saw at the premiere and he was there talking about it, and it does sound like that was more of a bit. Like he just did it because he thought it'd be cool to see the Predators fight specific people. Like the whole thing with the pilot, he was just like, yeah, we thought it'd be cool if the Predator was the Predator ship, and so we needed to dogfight the Predator ship, and like that was like the whole basis of it. He was just like, and the samurais are fun, right? So we put the samurais in. I was like, okay, sure.
Killer of Killers was so good.
It was so good, but it did feel like it was just like, I don't know, put a Predator against a cool thing for 10 minutes and then we move on.
Yeah.
But I do like how he like added that last bit though, that would be very essential to the future of the franchise, which is the fact that the Yautja are collecting their killers for something. But now I'm like, Nikhil, since you like theorized, and now it's canon to me that the mothership is the killer. Like it's.
Well, I do think I was super wrong about that, so I'm sorry.
But in my mind, I just now think that, and I think that'd be really cool if they were teaming up. So it could work.
It could. Well, they're together now. Like Killer of Killers definitely ends in a way that's supposed to be setting up something.
Yeah.
And then it's on this planet.
It could be the same planet though. It could be because like they're just trying to get out of that planet.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're on Predator homeworld. Like it is the same planet, I assume, unless this is like a separate Predator.
But we don't know what time it is. Like we don't know.
Oh, that is true. They do jump around in timing.
Yeah. So and then
maybe Dak grew up to be the Grendel King, and they already killed him.
I would hope that he doesn't revert back to.
No, I don't.
I feel like Dak learning his lesson. I don't think his lesson should be go back to this abusive.
Like, no, yeah, I don't system. I assume he's gonna be the good Predator. Like I think it's gonna be these three and some amount of returning characters and the guys from Killer of Killers. Probably not all of them, but like they're like the pilot and the girl from Prey or something, you know. And then that'll be the Predator Avengers, and I don't know who they're fighting. I assume like big bad, like Queen Predator. Is there one of those? Is it his mom? Who knows?
I mean, it would be kind of cool to see all this build up towards aliens being the final.
Yeah, they could also fight. That's what I'm saying. If we do an Aliens versus Predator, then you have Predator Avengers versus Aliens, which is also fun.
Yeah.
I really hope they call it Predator Avengers just for Nikhil's sake.
Nikhil gets kickbacks if they do that. They're like, okay, I guess we owe him money now.
Yeah, he gets credit.
You know?
Yes, that would be perfect. Dan, I know you're watching. If you use this name, you have to credit me, and not Marvel. They're involved. It was just me.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that there has been a lot of the Marvel, not only the Predator books and the Alien books that are coming out of the 20th Century Studio imprint of Marvel Comics, but also the ones that tie in with Marvel characters. There's two types.
Yeah, he's fighting Punisher
and Spider-Man. There was a Predator that came to New York that was like a dishonorable Predator. and he hunts weak things and he kills for fun and he skins them and like
okay.
He's
well,
like
first
a serial
of all,
killer.
Craven's already a character, so I don't know why
you
we
don't know
need
what
that.
happened. You don't know what's going on right now. It's
Did he
that
kill
you're bringing
Craven?
You're funny that you want the spoiler. You want me to?
Did he kill Craven? Because I'm gonna be actually pissed right now.
Craven kills predators and gets brought into the clan to then come back to Earth to kill the Marvel characters who are being killed right now. So,
fuck me, I'm gonna have to read that book. Craven as Space Predator is awesome.
Yeah. So Craven and what was I saying? Craven and the Predators come back and they start killing the Fantastic Four and all that stuff.
Well,
the book's not
that's
that
what
good.
we need. This is what Predator Avengers is. It's Predator Avengers versus Craven. You get Aaron Johnson in there. It could be amazing.
Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. According to Deadline on November 4th, 2025, Deadline Hollywood says that there are conversations with Arnold to return.
I have to assume in voice for some sequel to Killer of Killers. Right. I don't know how you get around him being 90 years old.
Right. Well, yeah.
Like de-aging, like how they did like Harrison Ford in like Indiana Jones, just de-age his face and he's still doing stunts.
Oh, I hope not.
I really hope like that is not. That was not.
Even Samuel L. Jackson in Captain Marvel, like you can't get around if they move like old people. Even if you can make them look young, like they still are moving like this. There's a really funny picture of Samuel L. Jackson running from Captain Marvel. The CGI looks really good. Like he looks like young Samuel L. Jackson, but he's running like this because he's an old ass man. And it's like he's 75. Like I don't blame him for not being able to run anymore. But like,
I mean, you do it too for the check, I guess. Yeah,
do what you do with the check. Yeah. That's what in Terminator, when they brought Arnold back in, they were just like, oh, the skin has aged that they wrapped around the robot because he was supposed to be like the same one. And so it worked. I don't know how you do it for this one because he's just a soldier. He was just a guy in Vietnam. How do you now?
Yeah.
Well, unless they do a thing where he thaws out first and then he ages.
I guess.
And then meets up with the rest of the team.
True.
That isn't how thawing works. I feel like a lot of people who are thawed in like that time, like whatever, when they thawed, like they just like stay there and then they start aging from there.
No, that's what I mean. What if he gets broken out first?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
40
but you're like immediately, like he just ages 40 years in like
the Predator Avengers like stumble upon Arnie, who's been living on Predator land for like 50 years.
Yeah.
That could work.
Oh, okay.
I could see that.
So it's like a Robin Williams and Jumanji sort of situation.
But didn't Killer of Killers, again, I haven't seen it, but didn't it show that he was still in cryo? I assume.
Yeah, he's still in. Yeah.
So I guess, again, we don't really know the timeline for any of this. They could just set it 50 years after. Who knows?
Yeah. Vic Weave says, could have him just play an old Dutch.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
Vic Weave also
I still think it's going to be voice. I think it's just the Predator Avenger movie is going to be animated, and it's going to have him be the voice of Dutch.
I mean, I'm sure they'll do an animated movie before they do a new live action one, and I'm sure they'll thaw him out, have him animated, and have him die.
Yeah, that might be it.
Before
just because I don't think he'll appear in live action. That just seems unnecessary. But you know what? Maybe everyone will love it. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. What else is he doing? I don't know.
Yeah. What do you do if you're like an ex-governor / actor?
I don't know.
He tried to like make a big comeback to acting when he got out of the governorship, and it just didn't really work.
Yeah, he's done small movies here and there. So
Running Man is coming out. You think he's in that?
I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah.
That'd be fun. That'd be nice for Arnold if they
gave him a little thing.
Good for Arnold. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have any final thoughts about this movie.
About this movie or How I Met Your Mother?
Let's get back to How I Met Your Mother.
It's funny because I haven't even watched How I Met Your Mother, so you two going back and forth, it's just been really funny.
I mean that is funny. I just think let's rename these classic movies as sitcom names and see what works.
There you go.
You can do it.
Yeah. this has me thinking now. No, I'm gonna go way off topic. So before we get going, like, you guys have any final thoughts about Predator, Aliens, what comes next? Any final thoughts that you couldn't get out earlier?
I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed like just how compelling it is from seeing the Yautja honestly having a moment of weakness and vulnerability personally for me, and like kind of learning that not everything has to be either predator or prey, but being able to protect people, being a protector and like being other things while still maintaining who you are and like having that skill set that you have was a really good message for me. So I love that little found family that they also kind of created at the very end of the movie. So
Yeah.
can't wait to see what else happens in this franchise.
I was a big fan. I loved it. I like any movie where you go to a strange alien world and mess around with stuff. I think what Trachtenberg has done to bring back Predator to be a pop cultural dominant force is amazing. And I look forward to anything he does after this.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hopefully, the Predator Avengers.
I love the world and the designs and this sort of like xenobiology that they like kind of work into everything. Ngals 27 says that they're an ecologist, and that they brought up something earlier about ecology, but that the speculative ecology in this movie is amazing as an ecologist myself, says Ngals 27. So like, yeah. And I mean, Avatar does it, and that's probably the only other thing I can compare it to. Like, Avatar.
Does Avatar do it though?
And really? I would argue that this movie does it better because they're smarter in the way that they do it. So I just wish they went even more so. Like, I want to know about everything in this world, but I doubt we're getting back there.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever visiting this specific planet again until someone who liked this movie like grows up and makes a movie, you know.
Unless Bud needs to find a mate. And so there's a whole movie where they take Bud back to the home world.
Find his other two slug calluses that he can merge with.
Yeah, and then they can merge, you know?
Good. Yeah, no, I would say like, because in Avatar, it's more like, oh, the animals are like real animals. It's like, oh, these things are the whales. And it's like a metaphor. But in this one, it is like, what would it take for a creature to survive in this sort of environment?
Yeah.
And like, down to like the using the rocks and stuff. Like, I think it takes a more imaginative stance, in my opinion.
I love the idea because like there are certain writers that do not do this well. J.K. Rowling does not do this well, where essentially when you're creating a brand new world, you're like, if this, then what? Right? Like you have to, and then you create like concentric circles of, well, if this is true, then these have to be true. If these have to be true, then this has to be true. And like you kind of create your world from there. I feel like this movie, they were like, okay, the blades of grass are like razor blades. What does that mean? That means whoever's eating it has to eat it in a certain way. Whoever's walking through it has to walk through a certain way. So that bone bison or whatever they were called bone bison?
Bone bison, I think.
Has the thing that kind of separates, like the soft insides are in there.
Yeah, and so that I can eat, but it moves the razors. Exactly. That kind of stuff I think is really
and Bud
above and beyond.
Being able to roll through it.
Also, they also have a very interesting interplay between Yautja and English. Like just because of how like the words that exist in the Yautja language were very fascinating to me. And I was like, so he has a word that means vulture. That we don't know what his word is, and he doesn't know what a vulture is. He doesn't know what a wolf is. But like something in their language means vulture. And that was really interesting to me. I don't know, that's just like the requirement of the film so that people could watch it without it all being subtitled. But I was thinking about it the entire time.
I think about that in science fiction also when it comes to like universal translation. Is it taking denotation or connotation? Like, is it taking your intent? Like, if you say that like, oh, that guy who ripped me off was a vulture, is that will that come out in a different way than a bird that's a vulture?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Linguistics.
Yeah. Speaking of linguistics, I had to look it up, but I don't know who created the language for this. But one of my ex-professors created the Dothraki language and Kryptonian language for the new Superman. Like, he was a linguistics professor. And so, like, when I was listening to this, I was like,
wait, how did he create Dothraki? Isn't that from the book?
But he had to create, like, a verbal, like, taking it from the book to the whatever. Anyway, whatever.
He like the sound. For the show. That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Because he's a linguistics guy. And so his literal Hollywood job now is creating fake, fictional languages.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
It is. It's funny to me that Tolkien, like as a linguistics professor himself, just did this, and now it's like ingrained into fantasy and sci-fi that if you want to have a world, you should have a fully functioning language that people can learn. And it's such an absurd requirement to make a world. But
I think it's absurd for Kryptonian in a way, like because Krypton's already dead. So like, what more do you need to explore Krypton for? Like, you don't need to create a whole language for it, but okay. But like, the Predators are still around. How do they talk? Cool. But Krypton's gone.
people just like to be able to learn it. It's like when people used to learn Klingon. It's like a party trick. You can just know the language.
That's why this also seemed like Klingon to me. Like, this was very, Klingon.
Did they have a Klingon thing? I think a lot of sci-fi goes back to Star Trek in a similar way to like fantasy. You can always be like kind of root it back to Lord of the Rings.
Well,
like,
and I would say Star Trek goes back to Lord of the Rings too, like science fiction and fantasy.
Oh, for sure.
The idea of the orc barbarians. There's this barbarian race. What now?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's always a barbarian race and a perfect white race in like all these things. It's like elves are like Aryan plus,
Yeah.
and they're the perfect ones in Middle Earth. But Vic Weave says the books, the Game of Thrones books, only had a few words and phrases.
Really? That's interesting. See, the thing is, I listened to the Game of Thrones on audiobook, so they would have also been just saying the Dothraki. I assume that your teacher created whatever the sounds are that were established.
Yeah. All I know is he has Jason Momoa on his phone, and he came to my trivia night, and like there was a Jason Momoa question, and he was like, "I'm gonna text Jason Momoa right now. There's a question about him." And like,
you think that like, oh no, go ahead and finish.
Well, Jason Momoa gave a thumbs up to it.
Okay.
Like,
I was like, do you think Jason Momoa like gets a text from the guy who once taught him how to say Dothraki things in Game of Thrones and is like, "Fuck yeah," or is he like, "Who is this?"
No, it's probably fuck yeah. I feel like over the course of that show, as his involvement in the show.
He's only in the one season, I think.
Like, but I'm sure there was consistent like, oh no, you gotta say it.
I talk like this, yeah.
But anyway, Vic Weave says Disney did it with the Atlantis movie, created a whole new language for it. So
they love to do it. It's really like you gotta at this point. If you're gonna have a language in it, people assume it's gonna be real. It can't just be gibberish anymore, and that's really sad.
I will say that my ex professor knows about the Krakoan language that was in the comics for the Krakoan age, and he was like, it's lazy.
Because it is, well, the Krakoan language is just letters.
Yeah.
Like it's our letters in a new way, and they didn't really work to like, because they never speak it. You never really see them speak.
You don't know how it sounds. Yeah.
Or even like what it looks like when they, I guess they sometimes write the text bubbles in it, but usually it's like on signage is what the Krakoan.
It's just the
alphabet. Fun if
it's an alphabet swap.
There's no like sense of grammar at all to it.
Yeah. But that's why they should hire.
But that's why your professor could come in and nail it.
Yeah. By the way, anything that I have said here about my ex-professor, maybe I'm just making it up, so don't hold him accountable to anything that you think he's accountable for. So, who knows? Maybe I just made everything up. Whatever.
Maybe I'm a liar.
Maybe I'm a
compulsive liar.
And I just made all that up. Who knows? But anyway, moving on to closing arguments. No, thank you both of you so much for coming on the show, taking time out of your Saturday to be here, talk about Predator Badlands. Thank you to everybody out there. Vic Weave, Ngals27, Aries 13 was here earlier, Curtis J223, for hopping in and, joining our chat. Before we get going, Nikhil, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
At Nikhil Clayton on YouTube and TikTok, and at Real Nikhil Clayton on Instagram. That's it.
I want to say that I'm so happy you have a blue check mark now, because I remember, I don't know if it's decreased now that you have a blue check mark, but all those fake accounts, the fake accounts that pop up and just steal your videos and pretend to be you.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I have there's 100. It's truly insane. I had to go through and get a whole purge of them once, and then they all came back. I had someone on my live recently that was like, "I've been following you for years. How come it says I'm not following you?" I was like, "Oh, you're probably following one of these bots." Some of them have hundreds of thousands of followers.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
Not me. but it is what it is.
Yeah. Now that you have a blue check mark, now I know that the person this whole time that's been on these shows is actually you.
That's good. Yeah.
What if I reach out to them?
I assume that for the VOD, you'll put a little check mark by my name as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a little Keeg branded one, you know. But Nikhil, thank you so much for coming on here. And again, anyone who's not following Marmar or Nikhil, definitely should, you know, especially if you're watching this right now and you haven't already. So, Nikhil, thanks so much. Marmar, where can people find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just on TikTok and I'm also on Instagram too at Marmarisa. So that's pretty much it too. Just doing reviews, talking about things like this. So yeah, check it out.
Both of you guys do great content. I just want to point
thank
that
you.
out. Is
Well,
that,
thank
like,
you.
The
Thank you.
critiques and like the things that you guys say, and you guys aren't a waste of time. You are not a waste.
Oh my God, thank you.
That's so sweet.
I know. You guys do great stuff. So yeah, anyone out there who's not following you is missing out. For anyone out there who is watching us live, you were watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. We're on all those podcast platforms. Follow us, like us, comment, subscribe, whatever each platform is doing. If you are on social media, you can follow the Keeg, and all the different shows that we do are all under the Keeg umbrella. This one being the Keeg Talks, but we do that at the Keeg Show on TikTok and Instagram. Those are our two biggest social media ones. And then, you know, we're on Blue Sky and Threads and all that stuff just for fun. We're there if you get, you know, anyone out there wants to follow us there. Pretty much anywhere you can find the Keeg, you can find us at the Keeg Show or /the Keeg Show, including patreon.com/the Keeg Show, where we're going to be creating new content, Patreon exclusive content for that. Just got to get started on that. But if you want to give back to the show, definitely do that. Oh, speaking of giving back, go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you, support your local comic shops, and support your local public libraries. That's also a big thing. Whether or not they got Predator books or comics or whatever, like, support your local public libraries, support your local comic shops, you know, grab a library card, you know, partake in that, and yeah, do some good for the community. This is the Keeg Talks Predator Badlands. I think there's other movies coming out soon, and maybe we'll be doing more stuff there. We also talk comics on Thursdays, and we do that sort of thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, Marmar. Thank you to everybody else out there. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Pereira, and this has been the Keeg Talks Predator Badlands. Take care, everybody. See you guys next time.
Super fast, gotta beat the boss and get the loot, cause it's the king, and we got